guys, Lyra Rae here. Welcome back to episode 10 of my alien experiences. Alright, so in this episode, I had been researching more about starseeds, and I really just kind of wanted to learn more about myself and what a starseed really is. So I started to go on Facebook and joined some starseed groups on there, and I was just kind of like reading through what they were saying, and I have to say, like, those Facebook groups I would not entirely recommend, because there is, or maybe it would be good for some people, because there's just a wide range of what people think is right and wrong, and everybody has different opinions on everything, and it can be very, very confusing for somebody who's just starting on their spiritual journey. But it's also a very good way to practice discernment for yourself, because that's actually something that is really important once you start to become more spiritual and awakened, is learning the art of discernment. So discern what your truth is versus what people are saying or what you're reading on the internet. But anyways, so I had actually met this girl on there who I was just catching her commenting on pretty much like everything that everybody posted, and she seemed to really know what she was talking about. I think she had posted something like she would give you a free starseed origins reading, like where your soul originates from, what star system. And I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. I would love to know what star system my soul originated from. So I think I messaged her and asked, and she messaged me back, and she told me like a few different origins that I had, or like places that I have incarnated in other lifetimes, but my number one was Pleiades. And I was like, okay, that's really interesting. I feel that, like, I don't really know that much about Pleiadians. She knew a lot because she was Pleiadian herself. So this lady kind of like took me under her wing, and because I just had so many questions and she had so many answers, so she kind of ended up becoming like a mentor to me, which was fucking amazing for somebody who's newly awakening. You have so many questions. Like, I've never heard of anybody else having these insane experiences like I've been having. She seemed to know what I was talking about and has had similar experiences. So I trusted her to give me some good insight onto what I was experiencing. And so we talked a lot. We talked every day, and she was teaching me so much about a lot of different things. Like, obviously I had a lot of questions about what I was experiencing, and so I would ask her what she thought, and then I would be like, oh, okay, that's cool, and kind of like discern for myself what it meant to me. And she started talking to me about different alien races and spirit guides and twin flames and all of this stuff that I just never knew about before. And it was so exciting and amazing, and it was so much information to take in, but I was so thankful that we had connected and I was able to ask these questions. So she taught me a lot, and the things that I was most interested in that we would talk about was twin flames. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically like you have multiple soulmates that are incarnated at the same time as you on this planet, but you only have one twin flame, and that's literally the other half of your soul, and that's like the person that you're supposed to be with, blah, blah, blah. Very important to point out, not everybody has a twin flame. It is a project. Not everybody is part of the twin flame project that has incarnated on this planet in this lifetime. Just thought I'd throw that out there because there's a lot of confusion on it, and I'll probably make a separate video totally about that at some point. But she knew a lot, and we started talking about spirit guides, and she was very, very psychic and very in touch with her own guides, and I started thinking, well, that would be amazing. I want to get in touch with my spirit guides. Do I have spirit guides? What's that? Like, I want to get to know them. And so I started practicing a lot of meditation to strengthen my own psychic abilities so that I would be able to open up and connect with my guides, because I became so dead set and on I want to know who my spirit guides are. It was really exciting to me. And I just started thinking about it all the time and doing different meditations and exercises to strengthen my third eye and like stuff like that. And so I've been putting it out into the universe. I want to meet my spirit guides, right? And so one night I was going to sleep, and I don't know if any of you have ever had sleep paralysis, but I have had a lot of experience with that, and that is again something that we will have to get into in another video at another time, because I have a lot to say on that too. But this dream that was the closest thing that I could equate it to. It seemed like some sort of sleep paralysis where I was laying there, I was in my room, I could see everything, but I wasn't like getting up or moving or like dreaming of anything specific. But I had this dream, but it was real because I was in my room, but it was still a dream because I was asleep. This is all I saw. I kept hearing the name Sophie over and over and over and over again. Sophie, Sophie, Sophie. And then I saw in pink cursive letters the name Sophie being written on the wall. And then I saw a flash of what looked like a gray alien, you know, the grays or whatever, like stereotypical alien face. And I had that dream 3 nights in a row. The first 2 times, it was hard for me to remember. The first time, I didn't remember at all. The second time, I was like, oh, I think I had a really important dream, but I don't remember it. Third time, I was like, I remember! And that was the 3rd time that I had the same dream. So the 3rd time, I got it. And then I was like, who the fuck is Sophie? I was so confused. I was like, I don't know a Sophie. I don't know why I'm dreaming of the name Sophie being written on the wall. and hearing that name over and over again and seeing a fucking alien face, like, I don't know what that means. So I was just like, whatever, went on with my day. I decided to message my friend, hey, this is what happened, I don't know if you know anything about that. And she said, yeah, that's your spirit guide. And I was like, wait, for real? and she was like, yeah, her name's Sophie. And like, she got an image of what she looked like and was describing it to me. And I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. I don't know if that's true, but it sounds really cool. So I guess my spirit guide's name's Sophie, maybe. And then I kind of like took it with a grain of salt, and I was like, oh, well, maybe that's true, maybe it's not, I don't know. I'm gonna need a more prominent sign to confirm that for me. And so the same day, I go out with my best friend, and we went to the mall, basically. And we were like standing in line for the fucking Hello Kitty truck. And this little girl runs up to me out of nowhere and is so infatuated with me and my look. And she just runs up to me and gives me a hug, just out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh my god, whose kid are you? And she was, I don't know where she came from, she just ran up to me and was just so in love with me, so in awe of me, and was like, are you famous? And I was like, aw, you're so cute. Yes, I am. And I said, what's your name? She said, Sophie. And I was like, okay, well, that's really interesting that your name is Sophie, after I've been racking my brain about what happened earlier. So just the love that was emanating from her, and how she just came up to me out of nowhere and was just infatuated with me. That was my confirmation that Sophie actually was my spirit guide. So then I started meditating more because I really wanted to be able to connect with Sophie. Okay, now I have a name. Now I want to get to know her. I want to know everything about her, because she clearly knows everything about me. She's my spirit guide. So I started to try and talk to her telepathically. And that was a challenge for me, because I was actually really into meditation a long time ago. So I had actually recalled this meditation where you can open your points of clairaudience, which are like on the side of your head right here. And so I started doing that meditation, so I was able to hear what she was saying, but it was so hard to discern my thoughts from another entity that's actually talking to me. And I would second guess myself, so it was just really hard for us to communicate that way. So what I did start doing with her was automatic writing. So I would get a notebook, I would ask a question that I would not know the answer to, and it's just something that's like known, like, what's the capital of fucking, I don't know, some random place. And I would have her write the answer. Sure enough, I would go look up the answer to that motherfucking question, and it would be right. That's how I knew that she was talking to me and I wasn't just writing bullshit. So I started doing that. I would ask questions and get an answer. And that's how we started our communication. And then I started to ask questions about myself and ask questions about everything else. And now I'm so connected with her that I can ask her any question in the fucking universe and she'll give me the answer for it. She's like my own personal Google assistant, but in like the spiritual world. How awesome is that? So I was learning a lot about myself just from being able to ask her questions, and she would confirm the answer for me. And it was amazing. It was such a great start to the beginning of me really opening my psychic abilities and starting my journey of clairaudience, clairvoyance, and telepathic communication. Alright guys, that's it for this episode. I will see you next time for episode 11. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my Instagram at Princess of Pleiades and go to my website if you want to learn more about my multidimensional healing at princessofpleiades.com. Bye!